beg for my soul, O saints, for I am not worthy of her time. Saint Matthias of Holy Justice, see that I have done no wrong, only what must be done to survive. Saint Elise of Redemption, offer me a task so that I may be forgiven for my failings. Saint Paulette of Warriors, know that what I have done in the name of warfare has changed me forever. The highest Saint Luca, be kind when you judge my soul. Know that the blood would not wash off. In the name of all the saints, I pray, forgive me. Ah, hello, stranger. How do you fare today? Fair enough. Well, my friend, a deal is a deal. I told you if you returned, you could share my fire, and I would tell you another story. So, what would you like to hear of this evening? Truly, I will tell you what I know, but I can't say I'm the wisest on the topic of, sorcery. There are a few kinds of wicked folk. Some I have seen for myself, and some I have only heard stories about. Saints, where to even begin? The rebellion has all sorts of the wicked folk, and to such a point I do not believe they are all evil. Many may just be misguided, and perhaps survival is a sufficient motivator to abandon one's morals. We Ycewians have it on good authority that the saints will keep you from ascending to the holy plane if even the moment of devilry has touched your soul that has not been atoned for. But desperate times call for desperate measures, no? There are two types of wicked folk. That is not true. There are two categories of wicked folk that have different types within them. Those who had to learn their foul art and those who were born with it. Which shall I start with? Very well. Those who are born wicked for whatever cause are a strange group. There are only two types. When people first settled on wild land, many theorized as to why the continent was abandoned. Some blamed the curse, others the monsters. But we now know it was because of the plague, the Reaper's March. It is a hellish disease, wears you down until you are a dying, maddened husk. Open sores and dark blood, you stop sleeping. You lose your grip. Those with the rot say they can see ghosts, ancient and modern, some dressed like you or I, and some who dress very differently. At any rate, the disease spread quickly through the new settlers of Wildland, killed an uncountable amount of people. But what always stood out were those infected who did not die. We call them afflicted, festering folk, ghouls. Some up north call them death dancers. They are a hard sight. Torn up skin, dark veins, tired eyes. They are not immortal, mind you. The disease just refuses to be the thing that kills them. They reach a point where they can control their infection, sending bugs infected with the malediction after the enemy, or just spitting on someone's food, I suppose. Alexei, the leader of the rebellion, uses the afflicted to get enemy bases sick before assaults. I've heard stories that the sick can hear each other's thoughts, but that might just be hearsay. The other inborn wickedness is, well, it's still unclear if it is wickedness at all. Of course, those in good favor with the saints can perform miracles, but this one looks a fair bit more like devilry. Some priests will claim it is a gift from the saints, others claim it is some malediction designed to elongate the war by the kings of hell. We call them the Chosen. Early into Paniran occupation, before the rebellion properly formed, a young woman named Helena was beaten in the streets by a Paniran soldier. He claimed she had spat in his food. That was enough cause for him to bludgeon her and then cut her down in the street with his saber. There her body lied for 4 hours, a message to the townsfolk. However, as the sun began to set, Helena sat up. Her wounds began to close. She had come back from the dead. The soldiers began to panic, some fleeing into the wilds. Again, Helena was killed. This time shot by a Paniran musket, but she only stayed dead 2 hours that time. Every time they killed her, she got up faster, her body healing sooner. The Chosen were born that day. They are rare, and not immortal necessarily. They still die permanently, eventually. There are tales of rebel Chosen who were cut into pieces and still managed to put their bodies back together before facing their final death. That may just be a story told to boost morale, of course. Are you alright? You look pale. Would you like some tea? Happily. If you do not mind my asking, where has your mind gone? That is a fair point. If those who do not choose the path of the wicked can spread disease and refuse to die, those who do choose the path tend to be far more dangerous. There are 5 types. I remember learning the 5 kinds of wicked folk in church every midweek as a boy, before the war started. The first type is the sorcerer. They read ancient tomes and consult strange forces to control the elements of the world. They can manipulate their own soul, burning pieces off of it to wield lightning and wind and water. They can use their own spirit as a weapon, manipulate the minds of others. Some say the more of their soul a sorcerer uses, the harder it is for them to escape the hellfire when they die. I would say they are punished well in life too. They tend to become feeble, their minds growing weak and their noses bleeding often. Anyways, they are the most commonly used by the rebellion. Alexei uses them on the front lines to destroy enemy fortifications. He also uses them in the back line as spies and defenders. Last year, a Paniran force tried to take one of our hidden bases in an abandoned cathedral. A sorceress took control of the statues around it, manipulating the very stone to kill and torment any who got close. Sorcerers are powerful, dangerous. A nation up north has an entire battalion of sorcerers and other wicked folk. But for all of their powers, there is one element that is not theirs to use. The second kind of wicked folk is the pyromancer. Those with fire in their souls who can create and twist flames. Alexei himself is a pyromancer. A pyromancer is made in a few ways. I will be honest, I don't really know myself. Alexei always said that he had to make a covenant with the flame itself. But who knows what the truth is? The presence of fire hands is essential to the rebellion. We use them to detonate enemy bases, igniting an entire armory's worth of black powder. Well, gone in an instant doesn't begin to describe the destruction. They can hurl fire, force guns to go off from a distance. Their hands begin to burn the longer they use their fire magic. It is not a pleasant sight. Alexei says his bones feel like they are burning in his skin. All the time, not just when he uses his magic. The next type would be the summoner. Deep in hell lie demons of all sorts, more like monsters than the creatures we become when we give in to our sins. They are bestial and strange. A summoner devotes time to learning the names of these things, then learns to call one. Each summoner only has one demon, but it becomes their guardian, their protector. The summoned demon grows, gains new traits, gets more dangerous as time marches on. The demon listens to the summoner, and when the summoner finally dies, the beast gets to eat its soul once they return to hell together. One summoner I've met has a strange beast, like a cat with hawk's wings and horns. Small thing. I haven't seen that summoner in years, but from what I have heard, the demon is the size of a lion now, and can breathe fire. Then, there is the kind that can speak to animals. They call themselves sovereigns, though the saints call them dark speakers. How to explain, picture for me. You are in the woods, when you see a rat wander atop a log. Then, 2 more rats join it. And as minutes go by, there are 20 more. Soon enough, hundreds of rats, all under control of their sovereigns, surround you, biting and feasting. That is what the sovereign is. They control animals, sometimes in singular, mostly in hordes. Birds, wolves, rats, and bats. They gossip with the creatures, learning all manner of secrets, and they weaponize them. After a particularly hard-fought battle, I once saw a whole flock of crows fall from the sky to devour a Paniran commander who had surrendered. It was... The last type of wicked one is the witch. They call themselves Hierophant, even priest if they're feeling particularly venomous. They speak to the true gods I told you of. The devil creatures in the woods. The man with the antlers we spoke of, and others like it. Witches, they devote their soul and worship to one of those evil things. What can they do? Raise the dead, curse someone, make an entire room full of people suddenly kill each other. They are rare, so it is hard to know exactly what their abilities are. Alexei says their magic works upon worship and sacrifice. They have to kill to access their dark abilities, and depending on which devil god they work for, the Lord of the Wild, or the Bearer of Plagues, or the Kings of Violence, or the Father of Monsters, it is not to be spoken of. Next we meet, bring me a topic less damnable. I'm sorry. I think, as this war has marched onward, and I have done more and more sinful things, I worry that just because I am not on the path of the wicked, I am still damned straight to hell. And though I believe this war we are fighting is a just one, and that we are battling for our very souls as the people of Ycewich, I am beyond redemption. I do hope I see you again. No one should be alone in Wildland. Saints help us.
Ycewich Saints is a narrative fiction audio drama produced by Livewire Stories, written by Gwen Fullman. Johannes Denis is played by Gwen Fullman. The music you heard in this episode was produced and performed by Gwen Fullman. If you like this show and want to support us, then we would be honored if you would join our Patreon. For $2 a month, you get access to episodes a week early and several other benefits. You can also follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, or join our Discord server in the description below. The best way you can help us out is to show this to a friend. Thank you for listening, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters for all they do.